Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the Movement Center and welcome to the Runner Series, where we break down the runner body joint by joint from the foot and ankle all the way to the head so that you can move and run like you mean it. Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Runner Series, and we're talking about the knee today. So to start off, the knee could be its own series. If you're a runner, you've had knee pain, am I right? Am I right, Mark? So if you're a runner, you've had knee pain, we're going to glaze over some things today, guys. But, we did a whole series actually on the squat. We're going to link to that. But we did a whole squat series. You're going to look at some of those things. But if you're having knee pain, we want to make sure we look at the whole system. But we're going to kind of take a look at a couple components of this today as we look at that, okay? So the first piece of this is we're going to look at your test, which is going to be a squat. So if we look at Mark here, we're going to have him go through his squat. So we can have his feet kind of hip width apart, his feet point straight. And we're going to have him just go down into his bottom squat position. So awesome. Make it a hold there for us if you can. Good. So Mark's, that's actually not too bad there. He's holding this kind of position, but you can see his knees, and we saw his ankles earlier. He can't quite get forward. So I'm actually going to have Mark come up and show his side to the camera and do that again, feet straight. So he comes up and he goes down to a squat. And as you guys can see, his knee cannot get forward. He's so far forward. He is battling to keep, he feels a burn in front of his shins. And we're going to make him stay here a little longer just to torture him. You can keep coming up. So what we're looking for this for your test of your knees is, can your knee fully close? So can that knee fully get down into a closed position? And more importantly, does your knee track over your toes? Are you kind of coming in or battling or twitching one side? In which case, you know that knee is not going to be tracking well when you go through your run. So the first piece we want to take care of, guys, is a small piece. We want to get after a muscle called TFL, which is often very overactive in runners, tensor fascia lata, and then into the quads as well. So to do this, you need a torture tool device of choice. So we're going to use a roller here. Just can grab that. Mark's going to grab his torture ball of choice. What we're going to do is get on the ground, and you're going to put this ball or the roller from the top of the knee to the top of the quad, or sorry, the top of the hip, and we're going to work along the front here. So to start with, we're going to get on the ground and get that thing up in here, and I'll do mine this way, is pin that bad boy down like this. And then what we're going to do is put as much pressure, as little pressure as you can on that you can tolerate, right? And you're going to roll back and forth to warm that bad boy up. And once you're warm, what you're going to do is put some pressure on it and then bend your knee through. The bend is what's going to do most of the release here for you guys, okay? So come up and bend. You want to make sure that muscle can move and bend comfortably while you're running, right? So you're going to come up and bend. Perfect. So Mark's going to work and kind of really, he's actually put a lot of pressure in there, which is good. You should feel that muscle pull underneath as you bend it up. Perfect. And you want to kind of, don't forget to get that component up here, right? A lot of people are tight in that IT band region. We know we can't lengthen the IT band. That thing's pretty stiff structure, but we can loosen up structures around it. So working all the way through and pinning it. A good thing to point out here too, guys, is one thing Jess is doing is really arching her back to get more movement, because her hip flexors are pretty tight on the other side. So we want to make sure that stays neutral and we don't overextend our back as we do this, okay? So don't compromise other parts of your body to stretch another, all right? So that's our release technique for the front. Now, next thing we're going to do is get into our hamstrings. A lot of runners don't use our glute or our power muscles that well, so we tend to use our hamstrings to extend our leg. So the next thing we're going to do is stretch out that hammy. So to get down, do a lunge position like this, and then what we're going to do is actually stretch the front leg. A lot of people stretch this hip flexor here, which is a good stretch, but right now we're focusing on the knee and the back of the leg. So from here, you're going to keep your back straight, your bum squeezed, and you're going to bring your hip back just like that, straightening this knee. Good, and you should feel that stretch pick up in the back of the leg. Mark really feels that one. Good, and you really want to kind of get back. That looks great, guys. I'm going to show you guys from this side. So if we're here, we come up nice and straight and pull back into that. You should feel that pick up along the back of the hammy, and you can twist your torso to the left or to the right to pick it up a little bit differently along, right? So you might feel that a bit more on the inside or the outside. Mark can barely stay up while he does this. Des is doing a really good job of this. It's just kind of opening up the bottom of the leg. All right, so that's your hamstring stretch to really activate that. Now the next piece of this is getting into strengthening aspect of things. So the glutes, or the power muscle that most runners are a bit weak in. We all run straight. We don't strengthen up this lateral kind of side-to-side movement. So we're going to have Jess grab this. I'll sneak this. Mark, you can just hang out. All right, is wrap this around our knees like this, just above knee height. Right. So for the guys out there, make sure you put it over your shorts and pull on the hair a little bit, and just you don't want to pull the skin too much. Okay. So you want your hips started hip width apart, right down in kind of a bit of an athletic stance or kind of squat position, feet pointed straight. And what I want you to do is keep the one leg straight, and when we're exercising, we're going to let fall in towards the inside and then drive out. Fall in towards the side and drive out, making sure you're keeping a posterior pelvic tilt, so kind of flattening your lower back. over here, keeping the knees bent, to really get those glutes active, and then rotating out like that. Side, you can alternate, you can do one side and the other, but make sure as you lift this leg out, this one doesn't fall in. All right? The other option is doing a bit of a monster walk, right? So this one you're going to walk to the side. You don't need to do this with your hands, that's just habit. You can keep your arms like this, more athletic stance. That's what you want to do, okay? So if you guys have any questions about that, let us know, leave them below. If you guys like this, give us a like, we appreciate that. And of course, subscribe to the channel, and above all else, move like you mean it. Thanks a lot, guys.